Hello everyone, today I'm combining some of the coolest techniques I know to make a beautiful textured hydrangea piece that you can try at home. I am really proud of how it turned out. Let me show you how I did it. We had a little break for Easter and I'm back in my studio. Inspiration strikes at the weirdest places for me. This time I am inspired by my powder room of all places. I'll show you by what. By this hydrangea flower. It's not real, but I just looked at it and I thought, why not? Let's try a different one. Maybe not the same colors. I'm going to use the same type of canvas I used for my last video. I have to show you this one. If you haven't watched it, please do. You see the texture? I had so much fun with the background. That's the canvas. It's 30 by 30 square canvas. So, color scheme. For some reasons, I'm drawn towards some muted color palettes. So only my sleeves will be very vibrant. And the rest, so what do we have? We've got pearl space gray, we've got gold, and titanium white at the moment. I might add another color at some point, but let's just make those little dots that some people love putting on their thumbs. There's always something else in the end, but those dots look cool, don't they? Gold. Oh, this is thicker. I shouldn't be probably putting so much of this, unless I want something very dark, but probably don't. I want it really light. Okay, so I'm not going to use a brush. I'm going to use a palette knife. And I'm going to spread the colors. Oh, already liking the mix, you know, that's just cool. If you want little sections of colors to just make some quick moves, not long, but just quite wow. It's definitely too dark for what I want, but I do like the colors. So I'll be coming with white on top, I'm sure. So I haven't decided where the flowers will go. I don't even know how many flowers I want. Maybe 3. As you can see, this is much more muted. There's one more color that I like with the golds and whites, and that's burnt umber. And it's got this hint of pink, which I wanted to introduce. And I might even introduce pink blush. So I want a bit of darker browns in the middle. This is a really thick, nice color. Look at that. It's so thick. Very interesting combination. Look at that. Again, if it's too much, yes, we will always put some white on top. When I'm almost happy with the background, because these are the colors I envisaged, I am just going to add a little bit of gold. A really small amount. Alright, now thinking of textures. In my last painting, I used this amazing piece. I'm super fond of it. I kept it, I washed it, because I thought it was pretty amazing. This came from a crate of citrus fruit, and it gave us some beautiful patterns. But I bet you don't want to see the same, so I'm looking for something else. And I found 2 bits. Well, I'll try some dots. So this, I wonder if anybody can guess. Let me just leave it. And who can guess where this came from? I might use this, or perhaps this one. I don't actually know where this came from. Because this is dry, I'm going to test it directly here. Yeah, I think the patterns are too close. Well, interesting enough, I still prefer the one from last week, so let's just try this small one. I'll just try it here. Maybe this one will behave better. Okay, this definitely not. Why not? Because this one is too high, so it's not flat. Now coming back to this one, this is going to be awesome for spray paint. Unless you want it higher, that's fine as well. So the last test. I promise that's going to be last. That's the roller. And what I'll try to do, I'll just try to cover this like that and see what happens. Those somewhere here. Oh yes, that's exactly what I wanted. You see that? Okay, so I figured it out. Adding some interest. So the lighter paints look really nice when we put them on a dark background. Look at that. Yes, I am using this beauty a little bit in various places. Can even use the same section. I'm liking the variety. Yeah, it's looking, I think it's looking good now. I want to make the flowers with a palette knife, and I wonder, I've got a bigger one, but that might be too big, this might be too small. I'll try one flower. Let me mix gesso with a little bit of this beigey brown I used at the beginning. That's probably way too much. I have to remind myself, no, nothing perfect. We don't want anything perfect. Oh, by the way, I've checked. They've got only 4 petals. These won't be so seen. So imperfections are more than welcome. I'm turning it because it's much easier. Some of them are darker, that's fine. When the flower is bigger, of course it's kind of easier, as you can see. Okay, a bit more white is needed because those in front will be much lighter, I think. I'm making a smaller one here. Again, trying to think about the shape first. I thought there was something missing here. And there will be some leaves, of course. Yes, I'm going to make some leaves, but don't worry if it's not really seen on the background because I will be adding some shadows. Petals are all dry and they look like this. There's not much contrast on some of them, and well, I knew it, I wanted them the same colors like the background, but now I'm just going to add some shadows in certain sections. You see, so some of the flowers will just pop straight away. I might blend it with grey if I want it even darker, but at the moment just checking how this one will look. Also, some of the flowers might require a little bit of shadows in the middle, like those really white ones. I think I'm going to add a bit of pink blush in a second. Just trying to create a variety of colors, not just one block color, because obviously when I was using gesso I didn't mix so many colors, so now little touch-ups and they will look more natural. If you compare now those two, they look a bit more natural than those ones. They definitely need some shadows and some highlights. I'm trying to make this one darker, the sections in between. So these are already, as you can see, there are some shadows. Now I'm working on this one, just basically touching some areas to create the division between the petals and the background. Time for some pink, and I mixed it with white so it's not too pinky. For the brown ones, these are actually highlights. The more colors we put, the more interesting the flowers will look. See, this is the undiluted pink. This one actually looks like my nails. I wasn't trying to match. Sometimes, you know, it's kind of funny. Let me show you on the big ones. I'm taking quite a lot and touching. Do you see that? Oops, the paint is going down. So we've got a really nice section. I can retouch them again if I wanted them bigger, or come back with white perhaps. But at the moment, I'm liking it. Sometimes I'm just not sure, so I do a couple of sketches on my iPad and I show the result to my lovely patrons. So that was the design, the final version. For the stems, as you can imagine, I picked brown with a bit of white, so basically the same color. And I'm using my thin brush. Those of you who are asking what kind of brush is it, I actually adapted it myself, but you can find something similar online. Look what I found, and I thought, yeah, that would be the easiest way. Now I found two different types. Some of them are very round and these are more pointy, but it doesn't really matter. If you didn't do any mock-up, what you could do now is just try them out. One here and something small here, and I think that's it. I don't want that many, to be honest. Look at all the patterns, and that's exactly what we want to print. All these. Okay, that's going to be quite dark, but it's fine. So I'm going to print the leaf twice. First with the darker color, and let me use this one. So basically I'm just brushing the color onto the leaf. That's all. Just like that. Ready, steady, go. Yes, some of the flowers will be covered now. I'm going to clean them. All right, let's have a look. Okay, we've got this. So of course, first thing, I am cleaning off the flower. I think I'm going to spread some color onto the leaf. Don't worry, I can fix it. I just want a bit of more color at the moment. I've got the shape, got what I wanted. It looks like I'm destroying what I've done, but I do have a plan. I can lighten some of the leaves before I do the final print, just a little bit. Okay, and now I am going to use predominantly white, just very, very light off-white. So let's just try with this one first. All I want now is those patterns in a lighter tone. Some precision now required. Hopefully I'll get the desired effect. If not, of course I am going to wipe it off. Oh, please work, please, please. It's really light. Now, really final touches with my thin brush. Couple of highlights here and there. I'm looking forward to your thoughts in the comments, and thank you so much for all the lovely comments I've been receiving. And I have to apologize here, especially to those who don't know me. I do have another job, so it's not always possible to answer all of them, so I am really sorry. And I'm really humbled by so many wonderful, wonderful words that I receive from you daily. And also looking forward to who's going to do this one first. Please send me a picture, and if you post on social media, I would really, really appreciate if you credit me as a source of inspiration. Speaking of inspiration, I did make hydrangeas before, purple hydrangeas. If you haven't seen them, you can watch the video here. It's very popular. But when I look for colors, I sometimes look online just for images, for color schemes. And I did see the similar color schemes on, I think it was Etsy or Pinterest. I'm not sure at the moment, but I couldn't see any names. So I'm sorry, I always like to mention if anything inspired me, or if someone inspired me. I wonder how many of you would you like to see some gold leaf here. At the moment we've got some highlights in gold. Can you see that? You can see from close. This is the gilding paste that I'm using. I don't want much. I'll go for a little bit on the leaves. Do you know what the main problem for me is once I add it? I keep forgetting where I added, so I have to take pictures or go back and watch the video. So let's just leave it for 15 minutes and then we come back. 15 minutes has passed. Time to apply the gold leaf. So that will take some time. You can put some music on. One leaf done. Some other sections to go. I'm taking the leaf off, and yes, it was completely minimalist. Can you see just a little bit? So I'll probably have to apply some more. Just brushing it off now. Well, there we are. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did and you would like to help support the channel, you can check out my Patreon, where you'll find extended versions of each week's tutorial as well as lots of other extra content. You can also find this original piece for sale on my website. I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.